A critical narrative, the Squid Game Season 2 compared to Season 1. When Squid Game Season 1 exploded onto the global stage in 2021, it captivated audiences with its fresh premise, unflinching critique of societal inequalities, and deeply human storytelling. The visceral games and the emotional stakes of its characters resonated deeply, leaving an indelible mark on pop culture. Naturally, the bar for Squid Game Season 2 was astronomically high. Yet when the second season premiered on December 26, 2024, the response was far from unanimous praise, revealing a division among fans and critics. Repetition versus innovation. A significant point of criticism was the perceived lack of innovation. Where Season 1 stood out for its originality and thought-provoking concept of life or death games intertwined with societal allegories, Season 2 struggled to replicate that impact. The narrative structure felt repetitive to many, with new games failing to evoke the same terror or awe as the first season. The games were described as predictable or even watered down, lacking the psychological depth that made the original round so harrowing. Season 1's success was partly rooted in its ability to balance brutality with poignant character arcs. However, in Season 2, critics argued that character development was sacrificed in favor of expanding the world building. While the behind-the-scenes operations of the organization were explored, some felt this added lore diluted the intimate, human-centric storytelling that made Season 1 so gripping. The loss of subtle social commentary. Season 1 was hailed as a sharp critique of capitalism and class disparity, resonating with audiences who saw reflections of their struggles in its dystopian allegory. In contrast, Season 2's thematic commentary felt less impactful, with critics noting that its social critique lacked the subtlety and urgency of its predecessor. Many argued that Season 2 leaned too heavily into being a commercial spectacle, overshadowing the poignant messages that defined Season 1. Pacing and plot weaknesses. Another common critique was the pacing of Season 2. While Season 1 delivered a tight, escalating narrative that kept viewers on edge, the second installment was accused of dragging its feet, particularly in its early episodes. The first few episodes were criticized for spending too much time setting up the new players and games without delivering the same immediate tension that hooked audiences the first time. Additionally, the plot progression in Season 2 felt less cohesive. The story often meandered, introducing subplots that failed to pay off meaningfully. This structural weakness diminished the sense of urgency and emotional investment that had been central to the original series. Performances and highlights. Despite its flaws, Season 2 was not without merit. The performances, particularly Lee Jung-jae's return as Gi-hun, were widely praised. His portrayal of a man still haunted by his experiences in the games brought emotional depth to the new season. Certain episodes, especially Episode 6, were noted as standout moments, managing to recapture some of the emotional weight and tension that made Season 1 so compelling. Moreover, the expanded exploration of the organizers and VIPs behind the games provided intriguing insights for some viewers, though others felt this focus came at the cost of engaging with new players and their stories. Viewer divisions. The reception among audiences mirrored the critics' divide. Fans of Season 1's raw intensity and tightly woven narrative expressed disappointment with Season 2, labeling it as overhyped and a shadow of its former self. However, others appreciated the expanded lore and world building, finding value in the broader scope of the story, even if it lacked the visceral punch of the original. Conclusion: a struggle to live up to a legacy. Season 2 of Squid Game faced the daunting challenge of following a cultural phenomenon, and while it delivered moments of intrigue and drama, it ultimately fell short of the towering expectations set by its predecessor. The loss of narrative originality, pacing issues, and a shift away from intimate storytelling were key factors in its mixed reception. While Season 2 expanded the universe, it left many longing for the raw, emotional storytelling that made Season 1 an instant classic.